Hello everyone, welcome back to lesson 3 of Game Making with Scratch. Today we're going to finally complete our Avoid the Dots project. So today is part 2 of 2, the final part of it. So let's see how we can make it more exciting and more like a real game. Okay, let's check our schedule first. So for today's lesson schedule, in this video we're going to do individual learning. So you're going to watch a short clip of today's Avoid the Dots part 2 of 2 project, so how it should look like at the end of today. I'm going to introduce to you what is new about today's part of the project, and I'm going to give you some expectations for your individual activity later. Okay, now once this video has finished, okay, you are on your own, you will need to do your individual activity. I will need you to follow the instructions on your ITHBL eCampus page, and then use the instructions to help you complete your Avoid the Dots project on Scratch. Okay, so check where you last finished and then continue from there. Okay, if you really cannot finish your work, it's fine. We will continue it in another lesson in school if there's time. All right, okay, so let's get started with our learning. Now let's take a look. This is a short clip of today's end product. So this is how our game should look like at the end of today. Okay, see if you can spot some differences from last week. So do you see that? Okay, so everyone, what happened was that at the start of our game, there were some game screens to make it look more professional, like a real game. So we're going to make that today for this second part of the project. Okay, so today we're going to make game screens. What we already had previously was our game backdrop costume, right? We're going to add 2 more backdrop costumes, one for a title screen and one for an instruction screen. Okay, now Miss Claire has already prepared some short videos of how to do this on the eCampus page. So once you are finished with this lesson video, go to the eCampus page, watch the videos on how to create in title and instruction screen and the modification. Okay, then you fully understand how you're supposed to do it before you use the instructions. All right, okay, now let's say we are done creating the game screens. We will need to code to add them in. Okay, so I want to go through this part because it's important. So first thing first, your game screens, you created it on your stage backdrop, so you have to code for your stage to add them in. This is the code we're going to add for game screens. When green flag is clicked, switch backdrop to title. So this means when the whole game starts, the first screen we should see is actually the title screen. Okay, nothing else should be showing. All right, now what's next? When stage clicked, switch backdrop to instruction. So this means when my title screen shows, when I click on the title screen, it should bring me to my instructions page. Okay, so that's a change in the game screen. Now what happens next? Wait 5 seconds, switch backdrop to game. So this means when our instruction screen is showing, we are going to wait for 5 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And finally, it will show us our game screen. And then that's when the dots will start appearing and your game will start playing. Okay, so this is the coding for your game screens for the stage. Now, since we have game screen today, we also need to modify the code for our 2 sprites. Okay, so let's take a look. The first one is our blob sprite. So today we don't have to recode everything. We just need to change a bit of the old code. All right, so class, if you look here at my slide, same on your instructions page, you will see that I have put some red stars beside certain blocks. These red stars mean that those blocks are the new changes. Okay, so you don't have to change your whole code, just change the blocks that I put a star there. Okay, so for your blob sprite, at the top of the up, down, left, right arrow code, the very top, we are going to change it to when backdrop switches to game, show. Okay, so we're going to add these 2 new blocks at the start. What else? For our score variable code, okay, at the start got 2 more code as well. when backdrop switches to game, show variable score. Okay, so those are the additions. And on your blob sprite, we are also going to add, this is new, a tiny set of code. Okay, this will hide everything at the start of the game. So when green flag is clicked, when your whole game starts with the title screen, we want to hide the blob, hide the score variable. Okay, so everything hide at the start. Only when the game switches to the game screen, then everything will show. Okay, so basically this is what we're doing. Let's move on to the dot sprite. This one also need to modify. This one is simpler. For your enemy dot sprite, before the size change, when backdrop switches to game, then we are going to set the size and hide it and forever create clone. Okay, so this is just one little change. And then something new you need to add for your dot sprite, the hiding code. When green flag click, hide. So this will hide your dot sprite at the start of the game as well. Okay, very simple. Don't need to recode, just modify and add in the tiny ones. Okay, so just to summarize today, what you're making and coding, for your stage, you are going to add two more backdrop, your title screen and your instruction screen, and you're going to have to add a code for your screens to make sure they work. After that, move on to your two sprites. For your blob sprite, you need to modify the code to add the game screens, and you need to do that for your dot sprite or your enemy sprite also. Okay, so follow my instructions given and you'll be on the right track. All right? Okay, so I'm done with the teaching part. Now, my expectations for you today. What you will accomplish. First, I will need you to go to eCampus. I need you to watch the demonstration videos of how to make the instruction and title screen and the modification. Then I want you to download and follow the instructions that I've given. Okay? Now with the instructions, go to Scratch, complete your Avoid the Dots project, check where you last stopped and finish from there. When you are completed with your whole game, please remember to save your work and sign out of Scratch, okay? Miss Claire is not there to remind you, so please do that on your own. Don't forget, okay? If not, waste your effort. Finally, once you're done with everything, I need you to go back to eCampus page, do a self-checklist. This is for Miss Claire, so I know that you are learning properly, and if you need help, I can help you accordingly. Okay, so that's all for today. Go and watch the demonstration videos to understand how to do the game screens better, and then do your project. All right, have fun. See you next time.